1 in 5 teens have abused prescription medication. Approximately 21% of high school seniors have reported using marijuana in the past month. Yet only 1 in 3 parents believe there's anything they can do to prevent teen drug use.
Many parents are in denial of their child using drugs. Often, people turn their heads and say, "My child would never do that." However, this is the attitude that can lead to a parent losing their child due to a drug overdose. Yes, this topic of drug overdose is very hard to address, but it is dire to bring up for the health and wellness of children and parents alike. Therefore, here are some red flags to observe if your child may be abusing drugs.
There are 3 categories that symptoms of drug abuse fall into: physical, emotional, and social. While it may not be possible for you to completely monitor your child every second of the day, there are some precautions that you can take or some things that you could look out for to help you identify if your child is using. One of the easiest physical symptoms to notice is odor. Alcohol and cannabis are very pungent, so especially after your child has come home from a social outing, take notice of these scents that linger in the car or of any smoky clothing and bad breath. Additionally, consistently check the medicine cabinet for any missing prescription drugs.
If you're still uncertain, more physical symptoms include red or bloodshot eyes, dizziness or stumbling over, slurred speech, too much or too little sleep. Furthermore, keep an eye out for shakiness, depression, upset stomachs, and headaches, as these symptoms of withdrawal are similar to those of the flu.
As well as physical, there are also emotional symptoms, but they can be slightly more difficult to observe. A teen may lose interest in old hobbies or frequently hang out with friends very late into the night. Each person can have a different effect for using drugs, resulting in behaviors on 2 ends of the extremes. Some may become more or less worried, more focused or more distracted in school, and or more or less sociable. An observation that coincides with this behavior is to look at their bank account. Note if they blow through money very quickly or if they have constantly asked others for money. Oftentimes, teens abuse drugs as part of a coping mechanism. They may become withdrawn, defensive, and secretive.
The most distinct symptoms would involve the social red flags. You can ask your child about social habits in a discreet, non-confrontational way and obtain information without having them lash out. Notice if they are more introverted or extroverted than usual, and if they've recently changed friend groups or gained a lot of new friends. Look on their social accounts. It's very common to have increased references of drugs and alcohol on social media. Once again, this information might be difficult if your child is showing more defensive and secretive traits.
So what do? The first thing to do is talk to a trusted friend, spouse, or other adult. Always get a second opinion on what steps to take next. Ideally, talk to a local expert in drug awareness and prevention. The conversation between you and your child is going to be very difficult. Before you approach, gather your evidence and reasons for you to believe they are using. Be direct and clear, but do not be aggressive. That will cause your communication to shut down and your child will be defensive. There may be anger, mistrust, and even violence, but the key is that you remain calm, collected, and watchful. Be honest about how you feel, the dangers, and how other people in your family feel. Show support. Do not punish, because it will cause them to rebel more.
There are places you can go if you need help with your child. Call NJ211 if you need a resource, or other local places like Hunterdon Drug Awareness Program, Hunterdon County IDRC, Hunterdon Prevention Resources, and more. There are also message boards and groups of other parents whose kids abuse drugs, and those can be a major home of comfort. You are not alone in this. Your family may struggle in the future, but remember that recovery is always an option.